ASEAN leaders are set to gather in Washington, D.C. this Thursday for a two-day summit. U.S. President Joe Biden will be holding his first face-to-face talks with the bloc, and both sides are expected to elevate their diplomatic ties, which observers say could include concrete economic commitments to the region. CNA's Leong Wai-kit gets us set up.
Interaction between ASEAN and US leaders has been distant in recent years. This virtual summit in October was the first time in 4 years Washington held top-level talks with the bloc.
It is my hope that in the future we'll be able to hold these meetings in person again, because the relationship between the United States and ASEAN is vital.
The White House's hosting of Southeast Asian leaders this week can be interpreted as an attempt to pull the bloc closer into its orbit after snubs under the Trump administration. This is taking place at a time when China, which is also trying to woo ASEAN, is being distracted by a whole new wave of COVID-19 at home.
So they're not doing any sort of significant diplomacy anytime soon. Whereas you're going to have the US president hosting ASEAN leaders in Washington. So I think that is significant.
Observers have long pointed out that Washington's engagement with ASEAN is its way to counter China's influence. The bloc has close economic ties with Beijing, which provides billions in developmental loans. And some say the US will need to make overtures in this area.
The US have been criticized for not actively involving economically with the region. So should not put security and strategic interests ahead, but should put economic interests ahead.
ASEAN leaders are likely to focus on getting Washington's commitment to boost economic ties. During the ASEAN-US summit last October, President Joe Biden pledged $100 million to the region in areas such as COVID-19 recovery.
Hopefully, the United States will be able to mention in somewhat concrete fashion some of the new initiatives that they're going to roll out, especially in terms of economics.
Also expected to be a key focus at the summit is whether the US and ASEAN will upgrade their ties to the highest level, to what's known as a Comprehensive Strategic Partnership, or CSP. Currently, ASEAN has CSPs with China and Australia. And observers expect that the US will push for a CSP with ASEAN.
Substance matters the most, but it depends on how the US and ASEAN work together on the substance. Why comprehensive strategic partnership is different from the current state of strategic partnership? What are the value adds?
The leaders are also expected to trade views on the Ukraine and Myanmar crises, brainstorm ways to bounce back from COVID-19, and most importantly, find ways to ride the crest of renewed US-ASEAN friendship. Leong Wai-kit, CNA.